I'm hot. I am so utterly hot. But you know what's cool is this. This is so cool to have. I'm so glad we got Ace Attorney. The great Ace Attorney, as it were. Just honestly and truly. If you look at her options, very little stuff, but you can have stuff. They did have things. There's a little special content into it too, and I don't know whatever little bit piece here. But apparently there's escapades. I wasn't aware of this. I wasn't aware of the escapades. Are these new, or were they in the actual game? That's what I have to wonder. Oh no, not the British people. That's not good. I forgot there's British people here, so it's not the best thing in the world. But this is pretty cool. Oh, we could toggle this on and off? Yo! Oh my god. That's so cool, you could toggle these. Shlomes. Outfits only available for use in the Great Ace Attorney 2. This is fucking bullshit. God damn it. Let me have things. Let me have things! Jeez Louise. Still, it's pretty cool that we have like all these little thingy things that we could go get and do, and all these little acolytes and whatnot. If I was playing this on the Steam, I'll get Steam achievements, and I would get other things and whatnot. Objection! Rar, what are you objecting to? Don't just object to things! My goodness. Oh, jeez Louise. Oh, we do have portraits. Oh, that's pretty cute. This is cute. Look at this one. This is a really cute one right here. This is really cute. I object to the objection. What? You can't object to your own objection. That doesn't make sense. You're destroying the timeline. Either way. Just these. Look at that. Boom, and then resolve. Adventures, resolve. I hope we get another Great Ace Attorney game. I really, really do. Oh, it's so good. But it's 2 games in 1. I'm not sure if this is all of it. I think this is their own little thing. Like, let we go here. This is, yeah. Final chapter. And then we have this one. This one looks really nice. Look at the silhouette here. I'm not going to be playing this one anytime soon, just so y'all know. This is going to be like a later date thing. But we will be playing through the Great Ace Attorney Adventures, which I know is a little bit round way to say it. I just really love these little tickets right here and whatnot, and I've been meaning and wanting to play a lot of this stuff. Like forever ago. Like, it just looks really cute and cool, and just, it's so good. Wait, does it keep changing on me? Or... I swear it does. It probably doesn't. Okay. Enough finagling around! We need to stop. We need to actually play the darn game. You never played anything Ace Attorney. Rar, you should play an Ace Attorney game. They're wonderful.
After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the
If you've seen parts of one, it's not the same as actually playing one. You should really play one, honestly, Rar. I would truly mean it. This would be a great game to start on because it's not actually part of any of the series. But there's plenty of ways to play this series. Like on the Steam, on the...
But for one man,
on the PS4, all that such.
Was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Why does he have gun? My backlog is thick. Rar. Shut up. Just shut up. You don't get to say anything excuse about backlog to me. You just don't. You just don't. Second, November, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court, Judiciary, Defendants, Antechamber. Okay, cool. Oh, I love the little 50 cents. Oh, I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber, is the highest court in Japan. We need to decide my fate. Blue Reflection is going to be my next target. You could do both. Play both these things. I will say the Ace Attorney games are pretty good in terms of things, and like, I've been wanting to stream an Ace Attorney game for like ever, but like, these games are best played as like a blind thing. I'm just saying, they really are, and just, it's so fun. I never played the great Ace Attorney games, and I'm so happy that I actually get to play it like fresh and new. What? Oh, no, nothing. St. Clair's murderer. Sorry. So, a really interesting thing about the Ace Attorney games, if you didn't know, Rar, and everybody else at home, basically, this actually helped change Japan's way of doing its judicial system. Not in the sense that, like, it reformed everything, but it did make it so, like, people aren't just automatically assumed as guilty when they're arrested. And that was an ongoing thing for a lot of Japan. And because of the Ace Attorney games, like, going like, oh, there's, like, crazy things that, like, explain this little thing, it goes in weird loops. It's great. It's just fantastic. That's just kind of how it goes. It's pretty great. So this is what we're going to be seeing now. My name is Ryunosuke. Naruhodo. Naruhodo! Game which is a rule for it better. I love it. Yeah, exactly. Hence why you should play the game. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough! He's not obligated to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. I love this dude. He's so anime. And yet I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right. Ryunosuke. Yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. I love him. I love this project so far. He's just very much like, I don't know what to do. Awoo. I love how the lawyer carries a sword. Yeah, this is in feudal Japan. This is in like the times where they just started talking to the Brits. At least it's supposed to be. And Rar, what's the image you want? What's the image you want? The image you want. Sorry, I'm just a little happy because it's Ace Attorney and just I never got to play Ace Attorney. You know what? This is valid. This is a good one. This is a good one right here. I gotta be real. I'm impressed with your choices here. Rar. Rar. You know where it is. It's in the bad place. Okay. I forgot we had this as a little thing. That's cute. Not here. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun. Where'd you go? I think this is it. There it is. Right here. Please. Boop. This is nice. I love this. This is wonderful. I am very glad I have like images here. It's really cutesy to me. Bring the aesthetic one stream at a time. You really are. You're bringing aesthetics here. Eventually I will get a better board and everything. I'm gonna get a better, you know? But for now it's just humble beginnings of Star Ocean times, you know what I'm saying? But really, Kazume. But really, Kazume, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up, hold your head high. You mean? I believe you. I know you're innocent, Rinosuke. He's so nice and honest. Kazuma Azogi. Azogi? My best friend. Also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still undergrad. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. He said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have you, a friend like you, Kazume. Truly. 3 days ago. Oof. So let me know, when you, what you're looking for, and I can see what I can whip up. I already have a friend on the case. I'm already going to be paying them. In fact, I should be paying them today. That's why I should put some of my money in. Which I just looked at my credit card bill so far of what I'm just like, oh shit. It's just like I have $100 more than I thought I did. I was like, oh, food adds up. But I've been going through a lot, so I'm just like, that's fine. That's particularly fine. I knew that was gonna happen, so I was like, bug. But yeah. Yes, that's when all this started. Oh? Congratulations, Kazume. Looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. No, been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you. I'm proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aurora belling around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. And come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing out the streets of Her Majesty's city of London together. Yeah, thanks for the hug. It's just whatever, you know, in terms of like, oh, I'm going through things. Everyone's going through things, honestly. And it's not like my thing is like a sudden thing. This is something that could have been entirely preventable, but because certain people are the way they are, it just didn't work out that way. And like, I'm still fine with things in terms of things. For those that may not know or realize, my grandma's in the hospital yet again. Just because they just do dumb stuff, and they just kept making their condition worse and worse, and just like this time around, she's probably not going to be back for a while, which is both a good and a bad thing. Good in the sense of my social life, bad in the sense that, you know, grandma. But it's just a whatever situation. Yeah, if I ever need an event, I definitely will. Yeah, sorry to hear that though. It's whatever. I don't know what else to make of it really, because it's just kind of like, she did that to herself. That's on her. Like, I'm not mad at her. It's just kind of like one of those, like, this wasn't preventable and you just did not do it. This is sad. Like, why didn't you just learn, you know? It's fine, but it's just one of those things where it's just like, ugh, things are going. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you get it. Yeah. Had a wild time tearing out the streets of— yeah, okay, there's this. If only we're that simple. Oh dear. Look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. It was straight after that, that's when it happened. Oh no. I'm tired of these, like, key phrases being, like, on there. Can I not have them? No? Okay. Nothing straight about it. Yeah, Renosuke doesn't feel straight. You shift the two? That's fair. Renosuke just feels like a bottom to me. And I don't mean that in the sense that, like, I think they won't go for girls. They're bottom. It's just... Azugi, may I have a word? Oh, it's the daughter girl. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Sugi. It's probably Asogi. I'm not saying it right at all. Jeez Louise. I need to be better at my pronunciation of Japanese. I know nothing else from this, but I shift them for now. Rar, like, legitimately one of the biggest shifts is between two of the characters that are, old childhood friends slash, like, antagonist and, protag. Like, the series has been known to be gay. Should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To his excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. Seems there may be confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. Oh, I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Renosuke. I'll see you in the court. Yes. Thanks, Kazuma. She's cute. Hello, sir. This is awkward. He's just a little face. If I may? Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant. Renosuke Naruto. I believe. Yes! Yes, that's right! My name is Eugene Mikotoma. I'm a professor of forensics medicine at Yume University. Professor Mikotoma. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing into the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if we should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have not chosen to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? I don't understand! Why would the government do such a thing? It's the government! The demonstration has to choose from a large number of applications for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even the most favorable circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it, I swear! I'm not a murderer! I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain how do you pronounce that? Particulars? Particularities? Big word scary! What is that? About today's trial. Sorry, what do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. Oh dear. It would seem our scrumpless surreptitious. Why does he say big word? Big word hard. Sir, sure, retipidus, surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Ozogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no way anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. What's more, be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on the unforgettable trial. Da-na-na-na. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide, my destiny. Bum bum bum. 22nd November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judiciary, Courtroom 2. So this is a courtroom? The Supreme Court room of Judiciary. Judiciary. No court in the land has more power. Much like the looks of those people sitting in the public gallery. Some military and other uniforms in there. Powers that have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? Trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate. Ryunosuke is about to begin. It's there. He looks so dumb. He looks like a feudal lord. The vote will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Norohodo. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. As is the defense. Before we begin, there's one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defendant made a last-minute request for the change of advocates. That's correct, Your Excellency. Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to the trial. I keep having hair, like right here. It makes it look like my hair split. Please stop. Please. Just look cute. Just look cute. I swear, it's just like a little hair strand that's not good. It should be fine. As this is an unusual circumstance, I will oblige to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? Oh, this is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Answer I do. Wait and see. No, answer. I'm gonna answer I do. He said answer I do. Let's see if he fucks us over. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. So as I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear... I love his eyes being all be like... What does this mean? Meaning of an unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruto, will be defending myself. You'll be what? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad will be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. Means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? No, it's not that, really. It's just that... Well, on the off chance things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Damn, we closed that route. We closed the route. Yes. I knew that's how you feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba should have stuck his nose in it. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own, counsel, really.
Objection!
Make no mistake, Consul. This merely shows the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruto-san? It's just a boy! Oh! Yes, exactly! Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now. Still, try not to look so bewildered. Huh. Well, for me, a university student, to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetuated a most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judiciary of Old Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruto? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competency for the task you have undertaken. My competency? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning you more than I am. So let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But... wait... God, I'm so nervous. Can you remember that? What was his name? Renosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that! It's simple. You can access the court record with that button. You ever find, you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. Just have to press that? Okay. Yeah. Alright, there's no time to lose. This is the list, you've collected. Now try switching to people instead of R. Oh, okay, there we go. Find details about the victims in here. When you're done, press the B button to go back. A second year at the Imperial Yume University. He's my best friend, and despite being a student, a qualified defense lawyer as well. A medical school professor at the Imperial Yume University. He is an authority in forensics medicine, and Kazume's mentor. The lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have little love for the changes of the cultural reformation has brought about. So the trials and tribulations, as it were. John H. Wilson? Wilson! The victim in this case, he was a visiting professor of the medicine at Yume University from the British Empire. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, and press X to present.
Yes!
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, applied to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. As most of you are aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergrads at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. You're a confident, expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. Blame for this crime. Plan. So that's what this trial is. Unusual particulars. Is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. Well, because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear. Look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. The British Empire. Wow. It's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go say hello. So I went over to the professor's table. Introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let us pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. Cause of death? Well, obviously, that was, Renosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death. Select present. Do it now. Prove that I'm studying at the Imperial Yume University. I always wear it on the collar of my uniform jacket. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. So that's this.
Yes!
Yes! Yes! Well... According to this document, the victim stuttered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile! That's the post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. This is so-called photograph print of the scene of the crime. You could clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern, scientific evidence into the court. Yay! We got the photograph! Doo-doo-doo! So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's really superior to a drawing. The detail's incredible. Very well, I will satisfy with your answers. Let us start the trial. What is this chunk ass just doing that? Whew, like, okay. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. Is it, then? I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean, Dr. Mikoto Tama? Toba? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. That doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you could give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Hopefully rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Oh, dang. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. I need to see something for a bit. I need to see if I actually have the voices on. Because there's just supposed to be voices. Yeah, the voices are on. So it's just whenever it happened. I guess the second game has voices? Which is fine, honestly. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is Satoru Hasanaga. I am the head waiter at the Western-style restaurant called La Crevenale. La Crevenale? Okay. Oh, he's bleeding. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some... It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. It really should. He just has like a disease. He's just like, whatever, it's a living. As everyone knows, the capital's southern eastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants. An why is that a word? Sentinel eatery? Sentinel? 3 days ago. Just learning a whole bunch of new words. This is the whole stream, everybody. Me fumbling on words that I just heard for the first time in my life. I don't know. I don't know. Understood, Hasanaga-san. You will kindly tell the court everything you can about this incident. At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring, maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We had few diners at the time of day. The lunchtime rush was over. There were only 3 tables still occupied. Fits in with a memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone else in place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. Objection! Why are you objecting, Gurren? What are you objecting to? A gunshot? Nice to see that you're here, by the way. I found the victim, an English gentleman slumped in this chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on! Let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him!
Objection!
This raggedy ass. I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you'll be penalized. Defendant Naruto. Don't worry, Renosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. He's really cool with that little waving thing. But now we must just quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today? Yeah, it's Ryu. It's freaking Ryu. We're friends with Ryu. Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? You jet, that's not Ryu? No, but he has the little thing. Whoosh whoosh. No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Uh-huh. Wait, what did you just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Renosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting out opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. Been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Interject. Interjections.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, dear me. What are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, isn't a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Asanaga-san, is there any chance you've mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? Conjunction, disjunction, what's your function? I'm glad you got that reference, Garin. Thank you. Solid. You'll do well here. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please have a look if you like. Let me see. Let's get to the establishment layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. As you could see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will now take this plan and add to the court record as evidence. Oh, well. Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. It's always the butler. I don't trust him. I don't trust him either, but I don't think he's the one that did it. I think it's a collaboration right now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. So, I just love that so much. It's the stupidest thing. So the court has heard a presence of the case. Look at him fake coughing for sympathy. I think he's really sick. There's no way. He's sick. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruto. Yes, Your Excellency. You admit your guilt of the stage. The court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I call this waiter as unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case into the court. But I must warn the defense. If you are determined to pursue matters further this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. I love the ice cream. Look, what? What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another. It seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual. About these particulars. said it. Professor Mikotobes said it. And so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw the trust back in my face? Is that it? What? Wait, Renosuke is Ace? I don't think he's Ace. I think he's bi. I think he's a full bottom. You know what I'm saying? It's called the Great Ace Attorney. I didn't want to put full Ace Attorney in the title, so I was just like, Great Ace, that's fine, whatever. If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet. Renosuke. He's so scared! The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats. Bring out its witness. Then we'll see how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecution Uchi. Please continue with proceeding. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. He's fake and Renosuke, he is the killer. Oh, damn. We're gonna have a killer. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. Ugh. In a few short moments from now, that dumb, struck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witness. Very well. Officer, bring forth the witness at once. Who is it? Is it the grill? Oh my god. Oh my god, they look so dumb. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupation for the court. Yes, sir! The Great Nippon Imperial Army's Sergeant Iyesa Noza. Reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiques from the effervescence of our nation, Nippon. And conduct my trade from Rizute, humble premises in the 2nd District. Kuryo Kurekuta, at your service. The state game on point, yep. An antique dealer and a soldier. An unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. Must be diners at the other tables that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question. Always post-noon. And not infrequently, converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer. Sounds like he's regular at La Carvenal. He seeks out potential customers who may have interest in antiques. Tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnaval because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although to be honest, the sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now you both witnessed the precious moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative! The enemy unit has seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as the act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during the last thing he said. So this is the decisive evidence that prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment he shot the victim dead. Yeah. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now the court will hear your formal testimonies. Please. You'll state everything you saw, the precise moment that the incident occurred. Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Standing by, ready to report, sir! Unsavory memories of the most heritable afternoon. What the witness saw. I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of particularly fine golden curio to the utility gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniform of varsity cadet fired on the English civilian from the back. The cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysterious, precious cure. Well, so you, Sergeant Nose, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir! Affirmative, sir! That wicked university cadet, sir! Oh my god, does he have a baby? I think he actually has a baby. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. What times we live in, when an English gentleman may be assaulted in broad daylight. But this is ridiculous! I didn't shoot anyone! Is that really true, Inosuke? Yes! All I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor! Why did you pick up the gun? After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. When I noticed the English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up... Well, that's the truth. There's obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. Somewhere, in these two witness testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witness. Cross-examine? Do it now. As we have heard, Your Excellency, there's no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It's time to bring this, despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any, vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my great duty to declare the vote.
Yes!
Oh. Yes! What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands its right to be cross-examination. Dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki, headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. How did he know? The prosecution objects. This is clearly a waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How could he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defendant is asserting its right to cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Kazuma's so commanding. Fucking gay-ass motherfucker. Kazuma's so commanding. You. Fucking just get a room. Very well. Let the defendant conduct a cross-examination of the witness. Right, this is where the battle really begins. Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in the cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witness's statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that what the soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. The key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. I love that so much. Alright then. It's all or nothing. What the witnesses saw. So we have all these. I think I might have to speed things up. Can I save? I want to save. Gameplay. Let's see here. Wait time. Well, this is in story mode. That's not really gonna work. Well, there's our save. Ooh, neat. We have a little thing. Okay, cool. Save attack. Cute. It's cute. Okay, so we did all that. Let's go. So I don't want to press this part right here. I don't feel like I need to press everything. Yeah, bud, really? You think I did?
Yes!
So you're saying that you actually saw me at the time? Affirmative! I saw you laughing, cackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of your gun on the English civilian. But that's impossible! I only... Allow me to confirm just one point, please. What's that, Private? Thinking carefully about the statement you just made. Seems to me that it must have been just after you heard the gunshot that you looked over to the victim's table. So what if it was? Well, if that really is the case, it would mean that you didn't, in fact, see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun. Gah! And Jibbelarg! My sixth sense! Sorry? My sixth sense of danger! I picked up the waves of murderous energy radiating from your foul mind! Which means... a split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, cadet! Surely that's really impossible. Not really possible, is it? Do you think I got where I am today in the army if I couldn't sense danger in the air, son? Well, it would seem the soldier is absolutely confident that he saw you do the deed. This is not good. Prime presenter. Ooh, neat. Magnificent anniversary. Could have fired on the Englishman civilian. Back, coward. Okay, precise moment. And then he's saying that I did it from the back. I don't know about that.
Yes!
What? So this black uniformed university cadet, you're saying that was... Ah! I ate just enough of your sauce, cadet! Who else do you see around here in a black uniform, huh? there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but... It was you, you little weasel! You loaded a firearm on that man! From behind his back, you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon? You disgust me! What is it, Renosuke? I'm not quite sure. Something the sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you've gathered in the court record. If you find an inconsistency there with what the witness has said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court. Thrust it in the witness's face, and make him choke on it. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's the little spot that I have to, like, go do a thing. Okay, from the back. I don't think so. I want to examine. Yeah, this is showing it. He was shot from the front. Yes! Literally. Oh, it's hot. It's hot, man. What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photography print in my mustache. Inconsistency! I mean, yes! There's a clear inconsistency here! What nonsense! What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, you know what I want to say. The words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that this is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. Could it be more plain? To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kasuma, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photography print presented by the defense. There's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? The sergeant, yes, knows. Yes, sir! What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian. But from the back, the coward little weasel. Yes, sir! Affirmative, sir! I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no! That just can't be! Why not, cadet? His voice is so hard for me. Because... Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah! Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Oh, well, there, what? What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he just pushed it down again. Certainly there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Will you not agree, Sergeant Noza? Yes, sir. Oh! Oh! Just a little tired, bleh. Yes, sir. At this juncture, sir, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious, Cravenel steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard was proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Yasanoza, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. Yeah, that's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There's no place for the amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Ah! There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial. Just from that one discrepancy. This is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him! That university cadet there. He was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
But I never fired the gun! All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either? Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure. Indeed! The Hoyara, Kobin. My prize coin! On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Resute. In hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was the military man that I proffered my, treasure. Believe that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not. But I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, he was there no more. It simply vanished! The Kobin vanished? Hunting around under the table, I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only for finding my absconded, Hioi treasure. Nothing could distract me! Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That laminate day, the precious holy in Kobin, was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself! As I'm sure everyone is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to the Great Britain by telegraph this afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subversive our government feels it must be to Britain, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Professor Ochi? Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate. but he will find a wolf at the back. My witness have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing the next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there was only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Renosuke Naruhodo. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion on you, doesn't he? God. Very well. The court invites the witness to testify again. He will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegations. Is that clear? As clear as critical glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeing out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the Noza family. To rise up to the ranks, sir. Name, Ido. Seen those straps on the signs of the sergeants being too strapped to forward a nanny. Do. Tenshon! Your father is about to quell the enemy! Watch and learn, my boy! Just a little babu. The true culprit. Even if what I saw was the precise moment the firearm was charged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the fallen man, he was, that young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premise at the time confirmed we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could dispatch the Englishman. Over and out. This is a little harder to figure out who's this lion.
Yes!
Oh dear. Wait, that's nonsense! The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all! Please, enough of those outbursts already. But there was a woman! There was a young woman at his table! You must have seen her. Everyone there, must have seen her.
Objection!
You call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court. Speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evident beyond any reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Is that a photograph print of the scene of the crime, Consul? Indeed. The table at which the victim was dining taken by the investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there's only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will now add this new photograph evidence to the record. Okay, so we got that now. A bottle of carbonated water and a steak. Lunch. Don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true! I saw her! I swear that I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to the Great Britain at time after all. The witness testimony we just heard left no further room for doubt. These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takatsuchi Uchi, would have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor. can this be happening? The judge is ready to roll! Stand tall, Renosuke. It's not over yet. 0? What? What you say is true. There's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it. Draw out the truth. In your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witness, but make it quick. Understood? Rules can be so unbending at times. Cross-examination time again. Oh. Okay, even what I saw was a precise moment of the firearm, it was almost the same thing. Let's press.
Yes!
No! It's not the same thing at all! For a start, I didn't fire that gun! We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of a uniformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. I don't think so. Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. Did you? Did you see it? Did you see me blink? How could I? And yet, it is an undeniable fact I did blink. So there you have it. Have what? 10 shot! The sound of the firearm rang in my ears, and the very next moment, I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman. I think that says it all, don't you? And let us not forget the antiques dealer witnessed the accusation in the most incriminating position of all. Isn't that so, Kota-san? Okay. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreman, doing this and that. Okay. Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at the point in time, but I told you already, it's only because I picked it up on the floor. Well, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away. I had just finished drinking my coffee. I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And exactly at that moment, a gunshot rang in my ears. Full of events beyond our control. Life is. Sorry, what do you mean? In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing's predicament. Whereas, controversially, I failed to pick up the carbine from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result. Anyway, a fact remains. Myself, I did see. With pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner. He's like trying to speak in haiku. Visual premise. Okay.
Yes!
Get that. You must have noticed someone else, at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
Objection!
As you've been in pains to point out time and again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. Boy, there were more people dining there at the time. Then someone would have noticed her. Fortunately, it has already passed 2 p.m. when it happened. A quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know. Of course, the place was almost empty. It's what you expect. Certainly. 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was? This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. What is that, Counsel? It's a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem the victim had an appointment at the clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Hot clinic. Yes, that would indeed appear to be an entry for the date in question. 19th November, noon to past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case. I wonder, what do you think, Bernosuke? Oh, well, it is hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you could request it for it to be entered in the court record as evidence. You think it would be useful? Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's report? Yes, you should. Whenever it asks this, you always accept it.
Yes!
Alright, generally speaking, I've never seen it be the other way around. If I may, I'd like to ask that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? The court has already had conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Whether or not there are concern is up to us to decide. The right to explore all possible avenues. Well, avenue cues. I beg your pardon? You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well. The court will grant the defendant's request. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's a most disturbing trend. How dare young people be able to live? Honestly, fuck them. Every last one young person. How dare they think they can have a right? A right to healthcare? I don't think so. A right to a decent job? No. Just no. Just work hard like I did. That bought a house because I was the special kid that my dad loved. Then you'll learn. Dang youngsters. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. Okay, a medical report card from the hotel clinic was found. What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle. Even they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. You can aspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Perhaps you've forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Korekota-san. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman dining all by himself. So we'll press this.
Yes!
So I do not know where to go. So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone. That I did. Forgive me for the position I placed you in. It's the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. As can clearly be seen, there's only a single beefsteak at the victim's table. A meal for one. No. The antique dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. If I'm perfectly honest, I have honestly no idea. No one other than the Black Dispatch.
Yes!
Okay. Why aren't you telling the truth? What do you say, Cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to fail to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruto, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? It was him, I told you. Who was? The butler? The waiter. The waiter whose testimony in the court heard earlier clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone. That's right. Precisely, in other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady. But if such a woman were indeed present in the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. Yet no such proof exists. The prosecutor demands no further mention of this phantom woman be made. Okay. There's people. Okay. It's a blatant waste of the court's time. There's nothing I could say to that. Excellent work, Renosuke. We gleaned some new information. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changed as much. Can't see that it brings any real discrepancy to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it with a little more detail. How exactly? You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. Oh, they're the ones you examined. Okay. Press A, and then you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Okay, so we can use those. Real paper-moving action! This game's so fancy! Wow! Yeah, I get it. I get it. Let me look. For the love of God, please. I understand how to move paper. Yeah, I get that. Bud, please. I don't need this fully explained to me. Please. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Need to use those. Yes, please. Okay. Oh? What is this? Date, record, what is this? I can't, ooh, hold up. What's this? There's a little open. Shazam. Let's have a look. It's a signed kind of medical history. Ah, there's an entry for the day Professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. It's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that could actually stop you feeling pain. Oh, there's a cautionary note for the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours. Post-procedure until anesthesia effects have passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. Hey, look at that! We found it! We found the thing! This new information. The meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again. Yes, we did it. We did it, everybody. Point the gun at the man. A visual search of the premise at the time confirms that you were the only person capable. Dino Lodi was dining all by himself. Okay, this is where I think we present. I think we present here. On the day of the murder, the victim had undergone dental treatment and had prohibited from eating. So this should be it.
Yes!
Okay, so far so good. The music stopped. That's always good. Well, I think, I bet, what are you wondering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer? I ain't calling you a truther. I wish I could. First and foremost here, I'm the accused. Renosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I can see it quite clearly in the cross-examination you were just carried out. When you raise your hand straight up like that, so purposefully. You knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright, and thanks for the advice. Use a little breathe. Korikoda-san, this is the medical report card belonging to the victim. Ah, I see, and? I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. It still gets to me. Just a little... Something clearly doesn't add up.
Objection!
Dear me, dear me. Have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But... let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. But that's... Remember, Nosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. He's just so cool. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court has heard has been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there's no one else besides this pale-faced pupil. This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that? What? Half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hoda Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted? What's this? What's this now? Furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. He's sweating, he's nervous, he is. They're all nervous. Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat? So what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours, post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't be! Kuta-san. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed, sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No! Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, had just one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of anesthesia. Expertly done, partner.
Objection!
What is this nonsense, you little upstart? Renosuke is Ace's secret identity. Oh my god, from One Piece? Is that what you're saying, Gurren? I don't think that's it. And just said Red Ace attorney. I just said Red Ace. Or Dea. These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food, the victim's table.
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? How dare you! I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Renosuke? Yes! Most definitely! So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. And it's not just one of those, things where it's just like, oh yeah, you can just defy doctor's orders. No! It really isn't. Your teeth be hurting. Wait, is this the guy from Marvel vs. Capcom? Right? No, he's the descendant of the guy from Marvel vs. Capcom. Phoenix Wright. He's Phoenix Wright's ancestor. That's the whole entire premise of this one. Is they go all the way back to the past, and we're playing as his ancestor right now. So we just have fun times that way. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who in fact was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense of this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel? Oh, mind blown. Oh, I'm glad to hear. Counsel! Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. It's the start of your turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been the victim himself, me, the two witnesses, as of yet unknown third party. Obviously, it could only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
You will not let this go, will you? There's no such person.
Yes!
There was, because I saw her. And Kazuma is Ryu's ancestor. You know what? That may just be the case. Believe it or not, Project X Zone would make you believe such a thing. Just saying, this is a possibility. You could be opening up new things, Gurren. I'm just saying. Interesting. And it's also a canonical thing that Ryu actually does travel between dimensions and everything. So, he could have came from this particular Japan. Or rather, his ancestor could have. Because he goes to different dimensions. You just do. It's weird. Street Fighter canon is weird. Because Ryu has factually interdimensionally traveled. Weird. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. Gah! We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear this witness testimonies are unreliable. The court decides to push through a ruling at this stage. We will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice. Pursue a fair retrial. Relentlessly. Kazuma, are you insane? You would take on the government? Don't worry, Counsel. I had no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them. those two witnesses at the stand. What? What are you talking about? We could demonstrate with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving our testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit in the murder? No! Damn, is that true? Negative. There was no mention of this on the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Oh. What? What did you just say? Kurikuta-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders? Now hold on, lad. I was just, Say you never saw the gentlewoman? Good. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim of a lady from overseas? What?
Objection!
What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? Just one simple slip of the tongue! Oh? Order! Consul, explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not! The prosecution knows nothing of this! Every time! It gets me every time! Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep our mouths shut? Well, that's classified. So you're prepared to tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't! This can't be happening! Renosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Uchi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could have only been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, an idea about who might be behind this? We could affirm who had tried to silence these witnesses, and we continue our pursuit. So we need to name, whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut? Of course, we need evidence before we take any firm accusations. Evidence that proves that whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. And how? How could we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Oh, yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers. If it's proven that this witness has been manipulated, I assure you, the penalty will be severe. Please, wait. Your Excellency, I had no idea any of this. I knew nothing! What does the defense have to say about all this, well, Your Excellency. I'm trying to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes in my head. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate witnesses is the head waiter. Can I look at other stuff? Objection. What are you objected to this time? I think it would be him. He was serving there on the day of the incident. The victim of this case. He's an army sergeant from the Empire of Japan who witnessed the incident. Ona Risute, who was hunting for the lost Kino era gold Koban art. He's authority of medical and cosmos professor. So, at the Imperial, so it wouldn't be him. I think it's only him. There really isn't anything else for this. But I would like to have been, like, see other things. Let's save here. For the sake and fact of it all. I would like to see the court record, and I hate when that happens when they don't do it.
Yes!
He's the only one I could think of. Well, sure, that would be, Saruto, Hosanagawa-san. And I think it's for this that I actually have an idea. What does it say? Kitchen. Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division. Imperial Police Bureau. Oh! He's not actually part of this. He's part of the police. So there we go. You done did it. Hosanagawa-san. A waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection!
Poppycock! What possible reason would a waiter have to make these witnesses give false information? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have the level of influence. Once I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter. Why? If he truly were? Come on, Renosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. Truth about, Satori Hasanaga's, real identity. Which is the waiter's business card. That's what it is. Huh. No, I'm not sure that it's supposed to prove, Consul. I think, Your Excellency, that what this proves is not the true nature of the waiter, but the true nature of the accusation of the accused. Sorry, what? A black god would stoop to presenting irrelevant evidence to incriminate an innocent man? This is the true nature of a rookie. Ah, what? But that's what it was. But it was that. It was the business thing. Okay, so I want to present examine then. He's male and British. How awful. Single bullet, close, no exit wound. It's not this. It should have been this. Like, I have nothing else. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see what it says, the witness's name here? Satoru, Hasanaga. Well, yes, the business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected, it's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hasanagawa, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau? Inspector, what on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, police have a lot of power and influence. The ruling is somehow here. So I had to update the card first. Okay, noted. We have to update these things before we present stuff.
Yes!
I'm annoyed. I'm so annoyed. The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree, it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure what we can conclude anything. Sorry, actually, that's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said the front? Yes! It's the front of the back of the card! That's where the telling detail is. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Asunagawa-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession. His true profession. The waiter's profession. But that's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. Card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power. As far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witness, there is, in a stand? Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Oh, who's holding it? Is the British man? Oh no! He's extra British this time! Inspector Hosunagawa? I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well. Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake. So you mean to say, you really are a detective? Why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course! Your salary... I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurants lately. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosunagawa. We will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at this victim's table. And that is indeed true. Clearly you would have also been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require this witness to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Ahem. Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. As I suspected. Ooh. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair. Beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting up opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. Bruce Mars is gay. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once? It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would have been in everyone's interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil to name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. That's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. It's not right! Yeah, they just, like, were just straight up like, Runosuke could just take the fall. It's fine. Runosuke. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yuma University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. I'm fairly certain that one of them is studying the medical facility's research laboratory. It's a young English woman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. The court demands you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The English woman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She's indeed a foreign exchange student, studying in the research laboratory of Yuma University's medical facility. What? What is happening here? I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erase all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and order those witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with the situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to this court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we now discover that this premise is false, it would be a discretion of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
But, Your Excellency! That would mean missing the noon deadline of the ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, Consul. I will not allow the government of our country, or any other, to influence the proceedings of this courtroom. I mean, honestly, that's how you do it. This is how you do. Ah! Inspector Hosonaga. Ah. Yes, sir. You will locate this Giselle Brent and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you're going against the special orders we were given from the Police Bureau. As I said before, It is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem. Oh my god. He's bleating, man. He's bleating hard. Nothing will get in my way. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Giselle Brett, to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency! Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. To be continued. Jeez Louise. This was something else. So I'm guessing she was the one that did it, if we're gonna bring her over. So, we'll save progress here, but I'm also gonna take a quick little break, just go to the bathroom, things like that. Because my voice is hard to do, you know? This is a lot. This is a lot of like instantaneous things. Ah, just gonna check one little thing. We'll be on our way. I have a lot of things. Ooh, the new webtoon updated for whatchamacalls, the one gay one, the Mage and Demon Queen. So I'll look at that soon. What's this chat up? Please. Really just doing like small little updates because I can. The rest can wait. Cool. Okay, let's try to finish up the rest of this today. Hopefully I could do it. I imagine there isn't much room for it after that, but who knows? You know what? We're gonna save it on here. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. 22nd November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of Judiciary Defendants. Antiquate Chamber? Excellent work, Renosuke. So superb. My heart was in my mouth the whole entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your Phantom Lady at last. Miss Giselle Brett, student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone for the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him. Like I've been saying all along! Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not have overly confident in the courtroom. My powers of observation are one thing I am oh yeah, I may not be overconfident in the courtroom. My powers of observation are the one thing I am sure of. Yes, I could see that. So about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, but on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table. I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and just after I bent down and picked it up, didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bubbled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, because I was shut in the pantry, I had no idea what happened outside the dining area. Oh, is this the old dude? It is. Professor Mikotoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, It seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then, looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, do you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. It was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punch the culprit as quickly as possible. Let's not forget who we're up against. Did you look at the image? Fine, I'll look at the image. I will look. Okay. So Vinny. Yeah, he does. The dude that has the baby does look like Vinny from Atlas. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't denying you. Let's not forget who we're up against. The gentlewoman is involved in our police bureau, went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. I have no doubt you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck! Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-san. Osama, but Defendant Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Where those old fossils know what hit them. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really? What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then fairly sure I'd already been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. I'm found guilty in this trial. He's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. It's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals, like from Yumi cafeteria on University Street. But extra large portion, of course. I love him. Just give me extra meat. Supreme Court of Geosteria. Courtroom 2. The court hereby resumes the trial of Renosuke Naruto. Rescue Uchi. Have you just managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under a rather painful scrutiny from the government. Interjection! Azazel, you dorcas! I'm playing Ace Attorney. It's a fun game that I like. It's fun. Sorry. By the way, he's a bottom. The one that's like panicking. The one that's cool. Very clearly a top. So far, very shippable pair. Just gotta say. Not sure if they're gay. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about. You tell me that this attorney is ace? It's a great ace. Mayhaps. Come to think of it. Would you say that Phoenix Wright is ace? Kinda is. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation flounders? Again, terribly sorry. The friendship between our nations is really so fragile. The treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really had nothing to worry about, Renosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial? Anxiety over some foreign government's opinions? A bungled investigation? Missing witnesses? Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is it the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up! Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing. Nothing is the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with the great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. So when Ace goes back in time, it's based off Ace in Time, the manga. You all just making up your own headcanons, aren't you? Steady political maneuvering is what we will secure our futures. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and the one who could arguably study harder too. Judging here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing I feel very strongly. A court that fails to uphold the truth in this justice system is a country with no future at all. He said something smart. Well said, Renosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror. You little brats! Because they didn't know the lore like I. Yep, time-based manga. Yep, you're correct. Sure, whatever. Thank you, Council. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system. It exists solely for the pursuits of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking a stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Britt. Britt? Like Britt? Like Jezebel? Yes! Your Excellency! Okay. Oh my god, look at that swan. I love her. She's great. Fuck yeah. This is my bitch. My bitch. Well, what a delight is it to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land. Tea. Someone bring English tea. In England, no discussions take place without tea. Her hat has rights, right? Is that true? No idea. So, Ahem. Could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hasanaga. I have been working undercover as a head waiter of Yes, we know all about you already. Entire court of Sims, yeah. The right not to be seen in public. Ooh, got her. You did. Damn. Inspector Hasanaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? Is that true? No idea. God, when he looks at me like that, I'm just kind of like, that's a top stare. Just every time he looks, I'm just kind of like averting away, just like, yes. He's asserting dominance with that fucking eye glare. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description of this amazing sight was simply a woman. That is a top star. Thank you. I'd like to think I would know. Sorry, Renosuke. Powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. Oh, she's speaking the Brit. She's speaking British! Oops. She's speaking the Brit. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What? Oh, he's saying things. She's the Dragonborn? Oh my god. You can tell your booty getting grabbed? Yeah. Kazuma has rights. The lady says her name is Jezreel Brett. She comes from London, England. She's visiting a research student, currently enrolled in UMay University's medical facility. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the delicate tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you say, but he was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song. Fucking, I forget how much of a simp he is, in all iterations. As far as I could tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You're obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Fucking the way he smiled, though! Like, yeah. My bottom has praised me. I am happy about this. Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention to your English classes, Renosuke. He does smile affectionately. Someone's booty's getting grabbed tonight. Yeah, yeah! The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Britt. Miss Britt. 3 days ago, at the restaurant called La Carnival. Is it La Carnival? Or is it La Criminal? Like it's supposed to be like a criminal statement. A grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Ooh, just getting at it. I love the little ear, like to that. She says yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. Oh? She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the anniversary, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau. Well, dear lady, will you be so kind as to cast your eyes over the photographic print? Why does she have barrels glued to the side of her head? She just does. She has rights. Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say... Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Look at his eyes! I love it! He's just like, please not me. Please don't call me teacher. Order! Order in the court! Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have absolutely conclusive witness statement. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Yep, it's her. Unfortunately, we'll have to ask you to, formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you describe. She's British. Oh my god, we're gonna have to hear this every time, huh? I arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only. A beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right between my eyes. Right before my eyes, not betweens. Not betwons. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. That's true, she's not American. We all carry our guns. We all have guns that we carry. I have it around here somewhere. Usually, like, in my bed where I sleep with it. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
Yeah. Is it weird that people don't carry guns? That's just so weird, like, honestly. Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted, blackguard. And look at those, Snow White Angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe. Ugh. You're still making the same mistakes, Renosuke. You mustn't burnt out, when you're coded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. I keep 3 AR-14s in my bra at all times, like a true American. Damn, babe, that's hot. Not gonna lie. But he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from the lady and the 2 witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Britt was not involved, so I let her go. Testimonies of the last 2 witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere around her person where she could conceal a firearm. There is literally a swan right there that she's holding up. Are you telling me she can't put a gun up there? Are you telling me she can't put it in her booba? Are you telling me those barrels aren't for nothing? Are you telling me that big donka 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 is hers? Because I don't believe. I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if you wanted to. Unless in a jail, the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown. This is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those were the witness's own words on the matter. It's ridiculous. If I was allowed to lift her up her dress, I could prove it. Don't think about doing anything rash, Renosuke. But I didn't fire the gun, I picked it up! There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that. Which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. To do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. Woo! I love her. Yeah, Swan Girl thick. She really is thick. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Yes, Your Excellency. A frightening and sorrowful fight. I'd arranged to meet with a slight late lunch.
Yes!
After 2 p.m. in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
Objection!
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are in vogue, isn't that right? No. No. A decisive English no. Has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working at the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it's apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. On the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we could prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is. So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? The professor was unable to eat. Oh, dang it. Is there like a fast button? Okay. So I ordered myself only a beef steak. I don't think we need to hear that too much. I think that will be fine. After a while, the accused came over and greeted us, and they got into a fierce argument.
Yes!
Press that. That's false. I never got into arguing with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over to say hello. Please don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directed at retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Britt does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. Japanese is a cumbersome language? Ho. English is so much worse. Even English speakers like me can't get English right, so it's just kind of like... Yeah, compared to English, is nothing. Spanish, then yes, I'd be like, yes, it is totally a cumbersome language, but like, English is like an 11 on the 10-point scale of like hard. Like, Japanese is just like a 10 of 10, and that's because of not grammar issues. You will be able to understand grammar properly. It's context issues that have a problem with kanji and whatnot. English is the future. We must all speak Ingurusu. Which is funny because English is actually the future. Believe it or not, everybody, English is a business language because you can lie very easily in comparison to literally any other language. So that's why people speak a lot of English. Not because we enforce things, but because we just are able to lie. That's it. It's just because of lying. That's all. I love when he does that. When he just like holds it like that. I don't know. It's just cutesy to me. One of the prosecutor will feel that way forever, or only in the presence of a beautiful woman. Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be. Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That part ties in what you said, doesn't it? Yes, I still have some coffee to drink. The next time you got up after that was when I finished my coffee and stood up to leave. I did not register that as a sword hilt at first. Babe. Then not long after that, he's shot him right before my eyes.
Yes!
Like I said, I did not shoot that gun! Like I said, there's no point repeating that assertion over and over. I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side. Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out in the restaurant, you had a gun to your head. Your hand. Well, yes, that's true, but... Ah! But all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes. There was someone much closer to the victim than me at the time. The highly suspicious lady... That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel! Dirty? Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy! Seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours. What nonsense. The lady is merely stating what you saw. And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned. Anyway. You know what? I think we may actually have to go back. I don't carry a gun, so obviously I couldn't hide it. Couldn't have been the culprit. I think it's actually the steak thing. A beef steak. But she ordered more than that. So let's
Yes!
press. He was unable to eat, you say. And that was because he just had a tooth removed at the Houghton clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here? Is that right? Right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have here there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying event. Exactly as it was left. Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled to a distant land in a far side of this world and be embroidered in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that was subject to you in this terrible plight. It's the victim, Dr. Wilson, and nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right, other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears the diners, toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. Nope! I know that's to be wrong! They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Renosuke, about the witness's last statement? It's very meaningful. Ah! Every time. The last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, well, well. How fascinating. Do tell us, what is the profounding bearing, hmm? The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is ready. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Huh. Well sidestepped, Council. Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Look at her smile! It's so evil! I love her! I'm a little messed up that I love her that much because she smiled. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Cosma. I remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I can really use that phrase. I hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Renosuke. Maybe you're attracted to villains. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But for real though, what is with this dude just like straight up going like, yeah, Renosuke. Ordered a beefsteak for myself, and Professor and I said cheers over carbonated water. So, what we should probably do is look here. Look at this. So, there's that. I don't know what that is. Is that carbonated water? I don't think that is. What's this? The steak wasn't fully eaten. Look at that. The steak wasn't eaten. I ordered a beefsteak for myself. The professor said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. But yeah, there's only one glass. Yeah, there. Oh, babe, you're correct. There is only one glass. They didn't cheer on that. You're correct on that. But also, the steak isn't like fully eaten. If you look, watch. See how the steak isn't fully eaten there yet? But in this one, it is. Like, if you see the difference between the two, that's a non-eaten steak. This is a fully eaten steak. Well, not fully eaten. This is a half-eaten steak, honestly, but still. Let's press that. So both you and the professor drank this carbonated water, did you? Yes. Being the waiter, I poured the 2 glasses myself. I clearly remember doing so. If that's a fully eaten steak, I'll never make you steak. That's not what I mean. You know what that means this one. I would eat the full steak, babe. Trust me, I would. I like steak. I do. I said you're actually a detective. The beef steak. That was for you, Miss Brett? I'm surprised she just straight up ate a steak. Like, honestly, props to her. She deserves rights. The lady says that she heard it was not customary to eat beef here until Japan opened its doors to the world. Yes, that's true. What a frightful place, is the lady's opinion. I've heard it's not customary to eat sashimi in Great Britain. Now that's frightful. Every country has its own cuisine. As long as people have food to eat, what does it matter what it is? True, come to think of it. The first time I tried carbonated water, it was much more of a shock than the first time I tried beef. Anyway, what is this witness statement? Somehow I feel like there's something out of place in what she's saying. You need to pounce on even the slightest thing now, because you never know what might lead to our goal. Our goal of turning this trial around. Understood, Cosma. After a while, accused. No, it's this part right here. I ordered a beefsteak for myself. Present. We need to present something. Can we like look at things? Magnifying glass. I need to make sure that I don't have to add anything. Is the bottle still corked? Oh, babe, you're correct on that. The bottle is still corked there. I can't see the bottle from there, so there's not something to be said. But it is something here. I just don't know which one to present. I think it's this one, though, because it only has one glass. And this one also... Ooh. Wait, hold on, look at that. There actually is something else over there. But here? Oh, I know what it is. Okay.
Yes!
Okay, we did it. Yes! Can't recork a bottle. Really? I didn't know that. I don't know. Like, I'm sure I've been told this. I just didn't remember. That's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, it's odd, very odd. Dear me, what's odd in this, is the defense's inability to express itself. Renosuke, what is about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor, said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Quite right, Consul. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection!
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over, minute? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
Objection!
Minute, you say? Could it be, that the detective here removed a glass, from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not! I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table! Or are you going to, try to tell me, you could clink, with only 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Oh? Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was all so terrifying. Everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I had been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I love her. I love her so much. She's a bitch. I love her. There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. You know what? She might be that bitch. She might be that bitch that tried to ruin Phoenix Wright. Like, the ancestor of that. And if that's the case, ooh, baby, that'd be great. Isn't the stake on the side that the murdered dude is sitting on? Yeah, it's true, he is. It's weird. Oh, please! You must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray? That's absurd! Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief? What? No, this can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. This guy's trying to grab her some booty, right? Yeah. It was seen that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. Gun! A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch, commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. So the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. Me when I see my mom taking a bowl of ramen, like a ramen bowl, from the Robin place. I just have to, like, look away. She's so funny sometimes when she does shit like that, I swear to God. And, like, she paid people. She did it weird. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. We have wasted enough time already. Indeed, Lydia has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. There's a deeper significance there. It's the handbag. It's the handbag. Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right! Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that, too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard from the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, he can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. A true murder weapon, if you will. You can't be serious for suggesting. Yep, such a sultry look when saying, well done, partner, right? Like, honestly, if they're not fucking, then, like, honestly, what was the Edo period even for? Inspector Asanaga. Yes. Did you or did you not search Miss Jessel Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir, I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun. The one that actually used to kill the professor. Could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No! No! He's simping for that girl. Order, order, order! What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Professor Uchi? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show your contents at the time? Thanks to her bulging incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have the chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in my police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I have completely forgotten about. This photographic print. Ooh. The print is of the photograph that I thought would be prudent to be taken immediately after the shooting. Oh look, there's a thing over there. He has sauce on his hands. As you see, it clearly shows Miss Brent's handbag. I never. Coughing up blood, dude. Yeah, he just said don't worry about it, so we just don't worry about it now. It's just a feature that he has. You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently mesh works bags like these are a height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that. Not all this on. Ah! I like how his friend's hair is just... friend's little bandana just keeps, like, waving. Order, order! Inspector Hasanaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. Photograph of the handbag has been entered into the court record. Shows Miss Brett's handbag visible. Okay. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. Oof. He has the same pose as right! The court has now been shown a considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted to the court record appears to have no future further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter. I must take my ruling. Indeed, and there's only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I started. Oh dang, Kazuma's taking it hard too. Kazuma? Sorry, Renosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? I must say, you put quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat, while the strong eat. You are wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. A fact you could chew on your heart's content, from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma... his dream of going to study to Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma... What? Is there really no chance of, now of turning this trial around? You're the judge. There's nothing about the last photograph the detective produced that we could contest. Which means, there's no basis on which we could argue for the trial to continue. Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. Seems we'll be able to report to the British government in time after all. Smug little. Renosuke Naruto. Having considered all of the evidence placed before... Wait! Your Excellency. Renosuke. I don't think you can rule on this case just yet. The answer is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems the trial is over, he gives his ruling. This is the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Yes!
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance. There's no longer any room for doubt in this matter. I must make my ruling. Now that means if there was a problem with the evidence, significant detail I mean, then ruling on the case, for this time would be out of the question.
Objection!
This is blatant, straw, clutching. Look at the photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There could be no problem with this evidence. You better know what you're doing, Rinosuke. I understand your objection, Consul. Certainly the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. There's sauce there. However, I failed to see how we could glean any new information from this handbag. There it is, right there. Handbag. My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate weasels. Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't just a wheeze. There's something about this photograph that just doesn't seem right. I can put my finger on it. Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity. What? But be warned, I am unsatisfied with your response here. The trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Ooh. Oh dear. Oh dearie dear. Let's save just in case I screw it up badly. Yes, Your Excellency. So take another look at the photograph of print Inspector Hasanaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded. So this is the glass. This is a chair. But right here, these are these. It's sauce. Gotta present the sauce. Look at this here. It's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection!
Dear me, I was pondering what new pavel you would come out with. A burn, you say, on a victim's wrist? Clearly that's nothing whatsoever to do with a magnificent young lady's purse. Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death. So he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea what the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Uchi points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on precise details of this burn. Yeah, I don't know why it's cow-shaped. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. What you're thinking on this, Rinosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with this case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. If I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hope I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? We could just link the burn to this case. To do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back home again. Just give up, Consul. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue with what is a little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence that inadvertently linked the burn to the victim's wrist of the case, then you would allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I didn't notice that burn as soon as you pointed it out. What I did notice is the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? To find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. Evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. Okay. That right there. There's the thing there. It's burnt. You can't see it there, but you can see it here. There is a little cow mark. Why was the cow mark there, mayhaps? Okay, so it just examines, it just makes it go more. Okay, cool. Yet the hot plate burned his wrist.
Yes!
What's this, Consul? Got another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. We humans look at the scene and we miss things. But in the photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brett. Ooh. You see, it's very clearly visible in the other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason it was recorded here forevermore. What? How?
Objection!
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. That's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn? It's, of course, this. Present.
Yes!
The beefsteak. Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate? Ah! Alexisly, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of Le Carnival. Emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. Ah! Renosuke, genius. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered his burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection!
But if that is the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day before that. It most likely happened on some other unrelated time. Well,
Objection!
sadly, Prosecutor Oji, chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why? The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? Can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But... I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. That was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be a bit more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that a victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of Le Carnaval, I can testify that without hesitation. Yeah, it was post-mortem. Yeah, that's the whole what they're leaning onto. But you're a detective, not a waiter.
Yes!
Yes, he is a detective, not a waiter. There you have it. Something isn't right there. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And Inspector Osanaga never heard the professor scream, not on the day or any before it. That's right, and the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate like anything like 3 seconds that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, Consul. And the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antique dealer, all of us would, without a question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ochi? Well, yes, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Renosuke, do you think? Can it really be true? Never dreamed I'd arrive at this conclusion like this, but starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I could think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn in his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already dead. Da-na-na-na! No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from, in one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible. The man was already dead. Already dead? And with that, we're gonna actually end it here, folks, because, like, honestly, this is a good place to end it. Nice little drama-rama. I don't know how much more this actual thing is, so I apologize if it's like, it's only like 20 minutes for like the rest of this, but yeah. I think this is a good place to end it. Ja? Let's go see if we could get somebody there. Nice. Yep, it's a cliffhanger. I tried to be cool with the cliffhanger. Let's see if there's anybody online that I know of. Yes, right here. There we go. Alright, everybody. Let's go on the other side of murder things and see, my good friend, Grandpa's Ghost, murder some people. Sounds good, good episode? Yeah, it is a good episode, for sure. Alright then, everybody. Thank you, Zazel, for showing up. Thank you, Rar. Thank you, Guren. Pleasure having you around. Tomorrow we'll solve this case of everything else. Till then, sayonara. Bye-bye.